Hi guys. Sorry I haven't updated in about a week or so. I've been kind of busy with school and stuff. I have no real updates or anything, like on anything that you guys would want to hear. But I kind of wanted to share something to you guys. I want to say last May, which was 6 months ago. I went to Petco with my mom, and we got 2 Bettas for me. I got a purple, blue, and pinkish half moon, I think that's what he was. And it was a male. And I also got a red veil-tail male. And about a month after I got them, this is the tank I have. And I had a divider because it was originally meant to have 2 Bettas in it. And since the instructions, like, on the tank say to have it run for 24 hours before you put the fish or fishes in. So I did that. And I put the divider in and all that stuff. I set it up. And I put them both in. And while the filter was, like, running for that 24 hours, they kind of sparred a little, like, between the 2 cups. But once we put them in, they didn't fight at all or anything. They kind of, if you could say, they got along. Which I thought was kind of weird, but hey, I accepted it. Anyway, so, back then, I fed them both these Betta pellets that came with the tank. And, I fed them about 2 or 3 a day. Back then, I actually think I overfed them a little bit, but they weren't having issues or anything, so I kind of didn't pay attention much. But then, about a month after I had them, the purple one, who I named Lucas, he died. And I'm assuming it's from overfeeding, because the way the filter is, it kind of pushes things over to the side of the tank that Lucas was on. So I think it pushed the food towards his side. So I think he got overfed. So then we thought at first we had no idea of how he died. So we cleaned out the tank entirely. We wanted to make sure there were no diseases or anything in the tank. So we dealt with that, and then we put Soren, who was my other fish, my red veil-tail, we put him back in the tank, and he was totally fine. Now it is November. It has been 6 months. 6 months. And was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I woke up, I did my normal regime before school, and before I leave my room to go make my lunch and then head out, I always feed my fish. So I feed him these flake things, and I'm actually thinking about changing this now because of all the stuff I read on the internet, but I feed him a couple of those flakes, and he usually swims up and eats them. He loves everything. He's really, really hyper and really energetic. He always swims around the tank. He's always bolting around everywhere. And for the first few months I had him, compared to Lucas, even though I'm pretty sure it's not possible, but I considered him having ADHD or something, because he was always moving. But, I came home from school, and, I said hi to him, like I always do. He's my little fishy. And, I noticed that he was just laying down near the ground. He does this a lot. He tends to like to give me heart attacks and kind of play dead. So I kind of have to, like, put my finger near where his face is to make him move, so I know he's alive. I know, I'm a really, really paranoid person. Anyway, so I did that, and he didn't really do anything, so I kind of moved the tank a little bit, and he kind of moved around. So, I told my mom, and I kind of started panicking a little. So I tried to put him in his cup, after I emptied out a lot of the water. So I put him in his cup, the cup that he came in, and I set him aside, and I cleaned out the tank and all that stuff. And then I looked up on the internet, because before I noticed that he was laying on his side a lot, and he was, like, swimming, and sometimes he'd be upside down and sideways. So I was really, really concerned now, because I thought he was going to die. So, I looked it up first I asked my mom, because my mom had Bettas before, and she said that she had no idea, off the top of her head at least. So I looked it up, and, the only things that he has is he doesn't want to move too much, except for when to go up for air. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to eat, And he doesn't do this anymore, but it might be because of how low the water is now. He doesn't flip over when he swims anymore, but he still lays on his side. And he still has issues swimming and stuff. But I looked it up, and I'm pretty positive that he has either this and or, I think he has swim bladder disease / disorder and or constipation. And swim bladder disorder, I don't know 100% what it is, but I know it's when they don't have issues, when they have issues with their swim bladder, because that's what makes them float and swim and stuff. And constipation can cause swim bladder disorder. And apparently constipation and swim bladder disorder are really common, but constipation, if it's not treated, is fatal, which really scares me. So I looked up like ways to fix it and all that stuff, and the only symptom that is of both swim bladder disorder and constipation is bloating. And I don't know if he's bloated or not, because he's always looked the same to me. He's kind of got like a... I'll show you on the top of this thing. So, this part right here has always been a little bigger, but it's always been like that, like ever since I bought him, so I didn't really think too much of it. So, unless that counts as bloating, I don't think he's bloated or anything. He wasn't as bloated as my, as Lucas was when I found him when he died. He had, like, the area where I think is where his swim bladder is, it was a little more protruding than it normally was. But that's the only symptom that he doesn't have, as far as I know, of swim bladder disorder and or constipation. So anyway, I looked up ways to, like, fix it and all that stuff, and one of the ways is to, like, take a cooked pea and then, like, either mash it up or cut it up into little pieces and then feed it to them, because that's kind of like a cleanser for them, because it's got a lot of fiber in it. So my mom made peas for dinner tonight, like, as a side dish. So she set aside one so I could use it for my fish. And I cut it up a little bit. And I tried to feed it to him, and he would just stay there. He wouldn't do anything. So, I tried multiple times, and I tried to, like, even poke at his tail a little bit to get him to move. I don't know if you're not supposed to do that or not. But I just wanted to get him to move to see if he would get it. And then when he would move, he would just swim, gulp a bunch of air or whatever, and then he'd float back down. So right now, today's the second day since this started. It is, I think, like 10:30 at night or something like that. Excuse me. And right now he's in his little cup thing, and he's starting to swim right now. Here he is. He's swimming around a little bit right now. But yeah, he swims around, and then he just, like, sits there. So right now he's my number one priority. I want to keep him alive, because he's my little guy. He's my little fishy. And the last thing I want is for him to die, because he is pretty much my everything. Because he's my fish. Nobody helps me take care of him. He's my fish. And I love him with all my heart. And ever since Lucas died, I've been really, really sure to keep him alive, because he's the only other fish I've got. So, I'm kind of preoccupied with him right now. I'm trying to make sure that he doesn't die. And I told my mom, I asked my mom if tomorrow we would go to Petco to, one, ask if anybody, like, ask any of the workers there if they know anything about this, and if these methods work or whatever. And if that's what he has. Because at one point I thought that he had, what is it called? It's the one where they have, like, the pine cone, gills, or scales. I don't remember what it's called. But that's one that's, like, fatal, and there's, like, almost no cure. Yeah. But at first I thought I had that, because I got really paranoid today, and I swear I saw, like, little tiny raised scales. So he may have that. I have no idea. From what I've read a couple of different things. I've been nonstop searching the internet for, like, the past 2 days on what he has. But, I remember the symptoms of that were the pine cone spines, and I thought I read somewhere that it was loss of appetite. That's why I thought that he had it. And for a second it looked like he had the pine cone scales. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. And if any of you guys actually have any advice for me, that would be fantastic. I would love insight on what exactly he has, because I'm pretty sure it's swim bladder disease and or disorder and or constipation, but I don't exactly know how to continue. Because I tried the pee thing, and so far, I've fasted him for 24 hours, and I tried the pee thing earlier today, but he didn't do anything. And I tried to feed him his normal food, but he didn't do anything. So I don't know what to do to get him eating again. And I am really, really afraid to put him back in his tank, because I can't lower the water enough for him to be able to easily be able to swim for air, along with having the filter, because the filter's really, really stubby and short. The filter's really short, so I can't lower the water enough to make it easy for him to swim to the top and have the filter run. So I'm willing to change the water in his little cup as often as I need, as long as he's able to get the air that he needs and have the least amount of hassle as possible. But yeah, if anybody has any information for me, that would be amazing. As far as, like, things that everyone usually asks for, I have absolutely no idea how much water his tank holds. I'm guessing maybe a gallon or 2. I have no idea. I haven't tested any nitrate or ammonia levels. I don't test that kind of stuff, even though I probably should. He has a filter. He has a light, but no heater. I've had him for about 6 months, but I'm guessing he's older than 6 months. Right now he's swimming again. Yep, just grazing around the bottom, and now he's picked a spot to chill. Lightly flapping his little fins. But, I don't exactly know, like, as far as symptoms. He is in his little cup right now, and there's, like, maybe 2, maybe 3 inches of water in it, and, he's on the bottom, and he stays there for, like, quite a long time. Occasionally he'll flap his fins, and then he kind of swims around sometimes, and then he goes up and gets air. But I do not know if he's bloated. I don't know if he's considered bloated or not. Let me see if I can get a good shot of him. This is probably going to be terrible. There he is. So I don't know if he's considered bloated or not, or if it's normal for him to be like this. Let me see if I can get it better. Oh, he's swimming again. Or at least he's slapping his fins. Oh, there he is. Yeah. So I don't know if that's considered bloated or not, or if that's normal. But yeah, that's all I can really give you right now. And I feed him a couple of these tropical medley flakes every day, like maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 flakes. I kind of just do like a little pinch. And I feed him once in the morning before school and then once before I go to bed. But I haven't fed him since yesterday morning, as of right now. I tried feeding him a pellet, but he wouldn't eat it. And I tried feeding him a little bit of a pea, but he wouldn't eat it. So I'm probably going to try tomorrow feeding him a green pea again. And I'm obviously going to ask somebody at Petco if they know anything about it too. So I'm probably going to update maybe Thursday or Friday. I have the whole week off next week, so I'll probably update then too. If he gets better, if he doesn't, or whatever happens. So I've got some stuff to do right now. So I'm going to head out. Hope you guys have an awesome day tomorrow.